Hello, so in this video I'd want to answer that essential question, what are the 6 main forms of energy? So we already discussed that there are 2 basic types, kinetic energy and potential energy. Kinetic having to do with motion, potential having to do with position or the shape of the object. Related to those are the different forms of energy, which could be considered potential or kinetic depending on the form of energy that they are. So the first one that we will talk about is here, mechanical energy. Mechanical energy is associated with the motion, position, or shape of an object. This means that mechanical energy, if you're remembering your definitions, is actually a combination of potential and kinetic energy. So a way to think about it is that mechanical energy is equal to the sum of potential energy and kinetic energy. So something could have mechanical energy and be completely potential, meaning possibly at rest and about to do something, or completely kinetic because it's in the process of doing something. So if we look at this example that they give us here with the basketball, at the bottom, right, just as they're about to throw the basketball up, it has no potential energy because it has no height and would have a great deal of kinetic energy because of the motion that it's being put into. At the top, the basketball has the most potential energy because it's at its highest point, and it has very, very little kinetic energy. All right, but no matter what, the mechanical energy of this ball would be staying the same. All right, so that is mechanical energy. It's the motion, position, or shape of an object, or the combination of potential and kinetic energy. There are several other forms of kinetic energy, and as I said, they can either be kinetic or potential. But these other forms of energy are ones that are too small to see with naked eyes, and they include nuclear energy, thermal energy, electrical energy, electromagnetic energy, and chemical energy. We're going to be spending our energy unit talking a lot about these different forms of energy. So our second form of energy that we're going to talk about here is called nuclear energy. So we already know that all objects are made up of particles called atoms, and then that's how we get matter and mass and all that. So what nuclear energy is, first, it is a type of potential energy. But specifically, nuclear energy is stored in the nucleus of an atom. And the way that it works is nuclear engineers and scientists will take these atoms and essentially either break them apart, which is fission, or try and put them all together, which is fusion, and those reactions create electricity because they create a big thermal reaction. All right, so if you're writing this down into your notes, pause and just write down nuclear energy is stored in the nucleus of an atom. Our third form of energy is thermal energy. Thermal energy is the total kinetic and potential energy of the particles in an object, all right? Particles that make up objects are constantly in motion. So they're constantly moving around even if we can't see it. So the thermal energy is just how quickly those particles are moving around. Something important to note is that the higher the temperature of an object, the more thermal energy is going to have. Like if you're boiling a pot of water, that'll have a lot of thermal energy compared to a block of ice. Our fourth form of energy is electrical energy. And what electrical energy is, it is the energy of electric charges. Depending on if those charges are moving or they're being stored, it can be either kinetic or potential. So if we're talking about something like, say, lightning is electrical energy. But we also have electrical energy coming from electrical lines that run our devices like computers and televisions. Our fifth form of energy is electromagnetic energy. So the light that you're seeing, the light that's enabling you to see the screen right now, is electrical energy. So our definition for electromagnetic energy is a form of energy that travels through space in waves. So a way to think about it is light is traveling through the earth until it hits your eye. All right, that's an eyeball. And then you're able to see things. We're going to go into more depth on electromagnetic energy, but for right now, all you need to know and write down is that electromagnetic energy is energy that travels through space and waves. And our final form of energy that we're going to discuss is known as chemical energy. Chemical energy is potential energy stored in chemical bonds. We can find chemical energy in things like the foods that you eat, matches that you use to light up candles, and even in your body cells. It's even found in things like batteries, because batteries are composed of chemicals. All right, so there you have it, our 6 forms of energy: our chemical, electromagnetic, electrical, nuclear, mechanical, and thermal. Make sure you've added these forms of energy and their definitions to your notes, and you'll be all set.